Is it too late to start dating again? Are you 40 now? Are you newly single? You're wondering how you're going to go about this, how you're going to get back out into the dating market and figure out how to make yourself presentable, and what do the kids even like nowadays? Are you just over women altogether or stressed out and bitter? Look, I got a lot of good news for you here today, and then also just a couple warnings, so let's walk through them all. The good news is successful dating is really simple. You've probably been doing it wrong most of your life. So pay attention here to the end and let's talk about a few things. If you want to be amazing at dating, it just stems from creating a space where you can hang out, have fun, and hook up. And I take that premise from a book called How to Be a 3% Man by Corey Wayne. It's $14. If you're just new, fresh on the market, go find that thing on Amazon, pick it up now, read it 10 times, come back to me. But in the meantime, don't leave yet. Let's talk about a few things that will help you when you're going back in the dating market now. The challenge is, if you look back on your life, there's parts that you're very comfortable with, and then there's parts that you feel some anxiety or insecurity about. And normally that anxiety or insecurity is when you're comparing yourself to the wrong models. So this is funny to me because when you really sit back, especially as a guy with experience, I want you to let this settle into your head now. You're a guy that's lived something. Dating takes looks, money, status, essentially. The more looks you have, the more money you have, the more status you have, the easier dating is. And the more looks you have or the more money you have, the higher your status is. So you can optimize any three of those to make this very successful. My point to you is, if you are 40 years old right now, if you got broad shoulders, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror at yourself. If you got decent attraction levels, if you know how to make eye contact, if you have a job where you're making over minimum wage, if you own a car, if you're not neck deep in debt and creditors aren't calling you about 90 days behind on everything, you're attractive, man. You're a dude that has lived life, that has experience, that has gone farther in the game, and that is wildly attractive. But you have to watch who you're comparing yourself to. If you're looking back now and you're a child of the 80s, late 70s, even the early 90s, and you're trying to compare yourself to like young Gen Z, it's a wash, man. It's a wash because you don't belong in that cohort. So welcome back to 4x4 Recall. This is the show for men who stand for something. It's a show for men who want to unlock the new man inside of them and win big against the rigged games that have held them back. At 4x4 Recall, we know the challenges that you've faced this far. We know what it means to try and fail. I'm here to tell you it's okay to be fed up and it's okay to be suspicious. Society's been playing you this whole time. You can end that today with a simple protocol. Unlock and win. So follow me and remember, you stand for something. So cohorts in life go in like these 20-year waves. And it's easy to say that's generational, but I don't think that that's quite accurate. I've found even in mentoring relationships, so now I'm 41 or 42, I think I've turned 42 this year. I found that as I've met successful men that are in their 60s, they're trying to pass the torch to me. Investors, real estate success. They're not necessarily doing that to 30-year-olds, and you don't really find 50-year-olds trying to pass the torch to me because 50-year-olds still got another 10 to 12, 15 years even when they want to work hard. And look, again, let's be real clear. I'm not disparaging any of the ages. If you've lived your life correctly, you had a blast in your 20s. You learned a ton. You were moderately successful in your 30s. In fact, the 30s so far have been the most fun I've ever had, hands down. I was successful in my 20s, made some smart decisions, had a grip of cash by the time I was 30. I had a lot of fun dating in my 30s. And then the 40s, something really key starts to happen. You can settle into this some. And then you have now these 60-year-olds that are reaching down. The police forces call it a hook and ladder. You have these 6-year-olds that are reaching down, they're going to propel you back up. So don't fret. Don't get stuck looking at these 20-something-year-olds. Here's a couple facts. The hottest girl on the market, and we're not going to try to date her. You could date her as a 42-year-old, but listen, the hottest girl on the market is a 23-year-old. That's an unfortunate reality. That's fact. She's gorgeous. She's got a tight ass. She's got a banging body. She still has that youthful glow inside of her. 23 years old. By the time she is 25, still smoking hot. By the time she's 28, she's got her priorities are shifting a little bit. She gets a little needy. She gets a little clingy. Maybe she's a single mom by now. And again, whoa. All the women that are throwing hate mail right now, this is not a bad thing. I'm just talking about when women are in their prime, 23 years old. Now, those men that are 23 years old, not in their prime. Listen, these dudes, it cracks me up. I work a lot with Gen Z from my military capacity sometimes. These dudes roll in. I was watching them at church the other day. My wife and I go to this big church, and all these young 23-year-old dudes are rolling in. They got like this long mullet type hair. Half of them are rocking mustaches now. They look straight up like Patrick Swayze out of Roadhouse or something. Or pick your 1980s trashy rock something movie. This is what they freaking look like because they're competing with you. And how do they compete with you? They compete with you by looking like a character out of Grease. They compete with you by looking like this badass dude that's ready to strap on the special forces equipment and dive out of a plane. Well, the majority of them are freaking clueless. They're not jumping out of planes. The majority of them can't even hack it in special forces. The majority of them have no idea what they're doing. They're just hoping and praying that these 23-year-olds notice them, the 23-year-old women, and they're not. Who they're really looking at is men older than them. That's just a reality. But look, the point here is not to say go find a 23-year-old. I've done this before, even in my 30s. When you get really good at dating, and we're going to talk about what that looks like in a minute, but when you get really good at dating, you're going to find that you just open and approach women, you get their numbers, you ask them out. Well, I ended up on a date with a really cute girl, and I was sitting across from her at the table at a rooftop bar near Denver, and it just came out real quickly. Like, this girl was like 21 or 22, and back then I was 33 or 34, 35. I don't know. But trying to talk with this girl was like, it was like throwing bricks at a mound of sand. Does that make sense? Just like, and what I'm telling you is like, as a guy that's got a little more experience, as a guy that's got history, you don't actually want that. And you might be saying, oh, Chad, well, that's easy for you to say. You've done this. So sure, go get him. That's fine. But my point more to you is refine your taste. That's what we're going to get into in the 40s. That's a good way of putting it. You're going to be a little more refined. You're going to have more money. You're going to have more suave. You're going to have more skill. You're going to know how to put your pants on. You're not insecure about what your shirt looks like when you go to pool. You're not worried about what someone cares about you. You've been around enough rodeos. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't compare yourself to these young men. It's a silly game. I was playing dodgeball, of all things, with a group of young guys not long ago, and I threw my shoulder out. That's ridiculous. Like, weird things happen to you in your 40s, but that's normal. Just understand it's normal and work within your cohort. So when I'm in a group of young guys, I don't sit there and be like, oh, man, I don't look as young as him. Oh, I don't seem as cool as him on TikTok. No, dude. Hell no. That's not what I'm going after. Who I look like is me. Who I look like is a successful dude that's made a freaking killing in salaries, that has his pick of the litter at jobs, that has unlimited reason. If I wanted to fly to Mexico tomorrow, done. If I want to fly to Costa Rica tomorrow, done. Now, does that mean that I do it all the time? No, because that shit's exhausting. I don't like to drink so much anymore. I don't want to be out late at night. Like, I'm in bed by 9 p.m. These are all qualities for you. So, to successfully date, you have to create a space where you're going to hang out, have fun, and create the opportunity to hook up. Again, Corey Wayne 101, How to Be a 3% Man. I'm going to put a link in the show description for the book that I want you to pick up. Now, what that means, though, hear me very clearly on this, because we're going to talk about how to do this, how to get started very quickly. What that means is no drama. Drama's not fun. What that means is no baggage. Baggage is not freaking fun. And what that means is no expectations. You can't go in there thinking, oh, I'm going to do this and that with this girl, or I'm going to show my ex by creating the most amazing relationship in the world. No, listen, I'm here to tell you, is it too late to start dating in your 40s? No, but you should probably never get married again. And we'll do that in a different episode. Okay, I would ask yourself this. If you're not ready to have fun, you probably shouldn't be dating yet. And listen, really simmer on this for a minute. There is pain and anguish. I've gone through family court. I've gone through a divorce that I never want to go through again. There is pain there. It takes time. It takes exploration. It takes surfacing these root causes so you don't find yourself in that trap again. So, if you're not ready to have fun, don't date. If you're ready to have fun, then date. So the rest of this episode, we're going to talk about having fun. All right. The final caveat here, though, most of you guys, if you're over 30, if you were in a long-term relationship, there's a 97% chance that you got lazy and sloppy. And I'm talking mentally, and I'm talking about the clothes you wear. And look, again, this isn't a fashion podcast. This isn't a podcast about how to look like those 23-year-old dudes. Dress like you. Dress like you. But you got to admit to yourself, you probably got lazy and sloppy. You're probably wearing shitty shoes because you think it's comfortable. There's a dude at the corporate area I work with now. He wears flip-flops every day. Okay, well, whatever, dude. Good on you. But unless you're making $1 million already, you probably shouldn't be wearing flip-flops. When you're making $1 million, wear whatever you want. But until then, you need to dress the way you want people to think about you. So we're going to talk about some presentation, how to resharpen your mind, how to reshape your mind, how to reframe a few things. So pay attention. All right, start here. Number one. And don't listen. You're going to think that this is so shallow and you're going to think that this is so superficial, but don't let this one go. You need clothes that fit. You need clothes. In fact, this shirt might just be a smidgen too long. You need clothes where the seam of your shoulder fits right there, where the neck does whatever you need it to do, pants that fit you, that have a decent break, and shoes that are worth wearing. So go YouTube that elsewhere. Go read a book. Don't look at a magazine because all they've got is Harry Styles. But you need clothes that fit. Don't try to be Gen Z. If you look at Gen Z, they're trendy, they're snarky, they're carving out their own style. Because remember, you've got 20 years of success ahead of them. So they got to figure out how to either break the mold or fit into the molds that work for them. So don't try to do that. But at a minimum, you can't be going out with some busted-ass t-shirt, with some ripped pair of jeans that are 2 years too faded, and your crappy little Nautica tennis shoes. All right? So we're going to move very quickly into number two. I just want you to understand that the way you look does matter for anyone, for a 30-year-old woman, for a 50-year-old woman, for a 23-year-old woman. You got to look sharp. You got to wear clothes that fit. Number two, reframe your perspective. And I know that this isn't going to seem obvious to you, but you've probably been playing house for a long time. You got to get out of the mindset. And I made this mistake. I want to be clear. I made this mistake. After my first marriage, we were together a total of like 7 years. I would go out and date girls and I would start thinking, oh, how can I improve her life? How can I contribute to the rent? How can I do like dad type weird things? Get that out of your head. Girls just want to have fun. And I promise you, you just want to have fun. You don't know it yet because you don't know how fun it is, but you just want to have fun. You're there to create a space where you can hang out, have fun, and hook up. So get out of the mindset of, I'm trying to get into another long-term relationship. Get out of the mindset even of, I'm trying to be a playboy, because it's kind of exhausting. What I want you to get into the mindset of is, I'm going to create options for myself. I'm going to create multiple girls that I could ask out per week, that I could take my choice from. Who I want to take out on Thursday, which one I want to take out on Friday, which one I want to take out on Saturday, when I'm going to take a break on Wednesday because I'm exhausted, who I want to take out because they don't like drinking, who I'm going to take out because they like the art exhibit that I'm going to, who I'm going to take out because they like the cars that I'm into, whatever. But you need to reframe your perspective here. You're no longer playing house. What you're doing is setting up a world where you have control over your options. And feel that for a minute, because I know that's going to hit home for some of you. You want control over your options. You want control over yourself. We're not here to compromise half of ourself anymore. We're not here to fall on our sword for every issue. We're not here to lay down our jacket over a puddle so some girl can walk in who's got high heels on anyway. No, man, forget that. You're here to have fun. And listen, this sounds too simple. When you focus on having fun, your fun, it gets too easy. Too easy. I'm telling you. I got to the point twice now in both career levels and dating levels where this apathy sets in, because you know exactly what's going to happen when you ask for this girl's number, because you know exactly what's going to happen when you text this girl and ask her out, because you know what's going to happen when you call her, because you know what's going to happen when you meet her, because you know what's going to happen when you see her ready to kiss you. Like it gets so predictable that it's easy, it's fun, and can lead into apathy. So I'm telling you, you have to change your whole paradigm and say, I'm the catch. I am the masculine man. I am the man that she's looking for, especially if you're dating like a pool of 28-year-olds. Look out, man. Look out. You will have clingy, smoking hot women left and right, hanging on your shoulder, asking you where this relationship is going. And just think to yourself, what do I want to do? I as the prize, what do I want to do to have the most fun right now? And then invite her to that. And then know, again, because you're a man with options, because you're a man that created yourself, because you're a man that created everything around you, including that stuff that your ex-wife is taking from you, including that stuff that other people are trying to rob from you, including that stuff that other people are looking at with envy. You created it. You are the prize. And if you don't believe that, then pay attention to Family Court and see who they're trying to put on a spigot and roast over a fire. You're the prize. So be the prize. Have fun. Do things that are fun to you. If Tulum sounds fun to you, go do it. But what sounds more fun to me is a yacht off the coast somewhere in a quieter place in Mexico. Or there's this awesome little hotel area called, I'm going to find a link and I'm going to put that in there. But what I'm saying there is it's private villas. Maybe if you need to get this out of your system, go do some weird foam party. Go do some rave. Go do something that you haven't done in a long time, but you're going to look out of place. If you try to jump into a cohort that's 20 years behind you, you're going to look out of place. You need to really focus on what's fun for you. If a rave is fun for you, you're going to look in place. So you got to really focus on what's fun for you and then invite these women out to those opportunities and know that there are an abundance of options. So if one says, no, I don't think so, I'm not interested in that, then you ask the next one. But what you're going to find is when you know that you're the prize, women know that you're the prize also. So when you're inviting them things, they accept enthusiastically. They don't want to think of these dates. Forget about whatever your ex said about setting steady date nights or steady whatever. No, man, women don't want that. They want you to pick a date and they want to come with you when they're interested in being with you. All right, number 3, wild success comes from repetition. And I know that this sounds like work, but it's not. What I'm talking about is doing it until it is fun. And let me tell you something. Women are fun. You having fun with women are fun. Women who are having fun with you is fun. This shit's fun. It's nerve-wracking at first. It seems scary. You're embarrassed to walk up to a girl and say, hey, I think that your nails look really good. Let's hang out sometime. What's your number? That might seem intimidating, but it's too easy. It's too easy. You can do this 20 times a day. I know guys that can do this 100 times a day. You could go to a mall, spend a couple hours. You could do this 100 times a day. Just go anywhere that these women are. But what I'm telling you is that the reps bring about wild success. If you want options, if you want top of funnel, you need to go out and start getting those reps again. And there's 3 ways we're going to do this. I'm going to tell you how to do this right now. And remember, this isn't in-depth. This is just too simple. Just start doing these things right here. When you're walking around, you're a new man, you're confident, you're taking a new outlook on life. You know you belong somewhere, you want to go have fun, you're going to start to notice women. Instead of looking at them like a creeper from the corner, like you're thirsty, just look at them, make eye contact, and smile. Smile and then keep that eye contact until they break away. That is going to feel very scary at first, but keep doing it. Do it until it's fun. Do it until it's predictable. Here's an interesting observation on that. I can go in like a Target now. I can go to whatever. And some girls are going to ignore you like you don't even exist because they don't want to deal with the eye contact. They don't want an invitation. They don't want attention, etc. That's fine. But you can start. I can look at girls now and I can see who's got a boyfriend, who's not interested, who's checking out to see if I have a wedding ring on, who is some thirsty mom at gymnastics. I just took my daughter to gymnastics the other day. You can see some thirsty moms there. They're just looking you up and down like a tall drink of water. You'll know which ones are going to look away instantly like, oh shit, they checked you out, but she's not interested. Or she's going to look down and look back up because she's flustered and interested. Just start having fun with it. Just observe. Drop into the seat of the witness and the witness seat and the observer seat and start doing these things. And when that's boring to you, now you're going to move into milestone number 2, which pickup artists call open and eject. But really, it's as simple as just saying something kind and genuine to someone and then seeing your way out. So if you walked up to someone, you can make a observational open is what they call this. If you say, man, it's really busy in here. Is it always this busy? And if she's like, oh, I don't know, I've never been. Oh, okay, well, have fun. Got to go. Or, yeah, it's always this busy. You should try Mondays. Oh, wow, super. I appreciate that. Take off. Just anything. Hey, I love your dress. Good job. High five. And high five, you're breaking a physical barrier now. I know that some of you guys are like freaking out, but look, just open and eject at a pace until it's fun. You don't want to be a comedian. You don't want to be this banter expert. I'm not trying to get you into a situation where you have to stick around for 20 minutes and wow this girl. I'm just saying, walk up. Hey, I love your hair. Oh, she's cute. Oh, what do you got there? Oh, shopping at got that Lululemon, huh? How do you say that? Just whatever makes sense to you. Some of it's going to hit real quick. You're going to see her eyes light up. You're going to see her really be interested in the conversation. Some of it's going to be awkward as fuck. Just let it go. Let it go until it's fun. Now, here's where the magic happens. And look, that last phase 2, some guys will stay there for 6 months. Go easy on yourself. Don't feel bad. Some guys will get through that in a week. They'll be like, that's boring. What's next? Well, what's next is polarizing. So approach. Say something genuine. Tell them the truth. I want to hang out with you later. What's your number? Or present it as an invitation. Do you want to grab drinks later? What's your number? That's probably the softest, easiest to do. But the key is you need to be making a clear ask. So you've gotten familiar with eye contact. You feel comfortable in a room that you're at. You've got good presence. You've walked up. You've found lines that work and other lines that don't work. Like for some reason, lipstick always worked for me. And I know sometimes people in the comments are like, what's his deal with the lipstick? I don't know. It just works for me. Maybe because I really like it. If a woman's got well applied, like deep red lipstick and it just looks banging with the outfit, I've gone up, I can't count the number of times. I've just walked up to a girl opener and said, listen, that lipstick is driving me nuts. Do you want to get drinks later? What's your number? That's it. I can't stay long. Do you want to get drinks later? What's your number? So find that little comment that you know that you like. Find the thing that you know that you like, period. And then start making the observation about it, but then tell them. And they can only say 3 things. They can say, hey, no, I can't have a boyfriend. Or, ew, no, go away. Or they say, oh, wow. And they'll look all taken aback and flustered, and they'll either pull out their phone or you give them your phone, and you'll get their number. And you say, hey, great meeting you, and you head off. That's it. You're going to build the mystery. For a huge change in your life that we'll have to do a whole other episode, you're going to build the mystery. You're going to be the guy that she's wondering about. Oh my goodness, what brought him up to me? Did he really like it? Is he going to text me? Is he going to call me? Am I going to find him on Instagram? What's the first date going to be like? Now all of a sudden she's wondering about you for days. So go through the milestones and you're back in the market right there. And then my last advice is don't fall into the trap of playing home again. Don't fall into the trap of going into long-term relationship again. Really rest, settle down, and have fun with yourself. Play this out for years. Take time to lick your wounds. Take time to heal. Take time to let these other things go. Remember the other person across from you, everyone, but especially this woman, she wants to have fun. She doesn't want your baggage. She doesn't want your drama. She doesn't want your whole life story. She just wants to have fun. And you create value by having the resources to create that space where you can hang out, have fun, and hook up. If you like this episode, smash that like button, hit the follow button, leave me a comment, find me on 4x4recall.com. I'll see you in the next one.